Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from. Welcome back to the Crypto Analyst live stream. I know it's been a long time since I have done one of these, but I am officially moved back into the apartment, which means that these are going to be going on every single week, probably even multiple times a week from now on. Video uploads are going to be starting back normally again. Everything has been pretty much set up. The setup is pretty much done, and so we're going to be actually having a live stream tonight. Now tonight, the things that we're going to be going over are, of course, what's happening in Bitcoin, but then in addition to this of what we normally do, it has been in very high demand that I do a DFS, Mapper, Maya, that whole area, that whole subject. I need to do an update video on that because literally so much has happened in like the last week, 2 weeks, and I haven't been able to make videos on any of this stuff. So today what we're going to be covering is Maya Preferred 223, DFS, Maya Token, because that's something we really have never talked about on the channel. We're going to be talking about MyX, and then of course Bitcoin as well. So 5 different categories that we're actually going to be talking about tonight. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I guess I'll go ahead and go through some of the news first, and then we can go ahead and dive into the TA on Bitcoin in a little bit, because I've kind of already explained this in the past videos of what I believe is going to happen and exactly, that is playing out. So I'll touch on that in a little bit, but let's go ahead and get on into this here. And actually give me 1 second. I'm going to make sure that everything's working properly, and we can move on from there. So let me just make sure. And if everything is good, then I guess we'll be good to go over here. Let me just double check that. So what I'm going to actually do right now is I'm actually going to go ahead and send this out to everyone else. If everything's working fine, guys, just give me a thumbs up in chat. And if not, just tell me what's wrong, because again, I kind of just sped put up the entire setup. I kind of just sped put up this to the Crypto Analyst. So I think we're good to go. All right, good evening, great to have you guys in here. If you guys can hear me okay and you guys can see everything okay, just give me a thumbs up in chat, and then we're going to be going on from here. I'm going to go ahead and send this out. Oops, that was something that I'm going to be using in a little bit. You guys got a sneak peek at it. I'm going to make sure that this goes out to everyone in the Discord. Oh, I forgot to change the title as well. All right, cool. Good evening. Everything's doing good. I don't know why, but the news titles never transfer. So everything should be good now. Everything should be good to go. Title has been adjusted. Thank you guys for that. So welcome everybody. As I was saying, basically, is that I just got the entire setup redone. Live streams and videos are going to be starting back on a normal schedule and on a normal pace. There'll be videos probably 5 times a week, live streams probably at least 2 times a week going from here on out. The things that I'm going to be talking about in today's live stream is actually going to be Bitcoin, Mapper, Maya Coin, DFS, some news, MyX, a lot of different things that I want to talk about. So I'm actually going to say Bitcoin for last because I've already covered that probably the more than anything else, and we're going to go ahead and dive on into some of the news. Now, this has probably been the thing that I've been requested the most through DMs and just honestly through a ton of DMs. I've been having so many people ask me about this, and even emails. And so let's go ahead and get into talking about Mapper because they had some news come out as well as DFS, and I'll be covering both of those guys right now. So basically, Mr. Lombari has joined the Maya Preferred 223 board of directors team, which will essentially, and it kind of says it already here, but basically it ensures its acceptance in Latin America and in Mexico. Now, they're already pretty heavily in Mexico and in Latin America, but if you guys don't know who Mr. Lombari is, he is the CEO of Global Payment Solutions. Now, that is obviously a very big company. Most of you guys have probably heard of that before. I'll go ahead and move this guy over here as well so we can see this. But I'm sure most of you guys already know who this is. So he doesn't really need an introduction in himself. If you guys don't know, just look up Global Payment Solutions. They're like one of the leading payment solutions. Not only, are they very popular all over the world, but especially in Latin America and in Mexico. So with him being such a large financial figure in Mexico, what this really does is it opens up the opportunity to expand. I'm not sure what's popping up on my screen. What this really does is allow the opportunity for Maya to continue expanding into Mexico. And what I mean by that is that since Mr. Lombari, if you guys don't know what he does and what Global Payment Solutions is, essentially he does a lot of the ATMs and credit and debit cards in Mexico and specifically more so in Latin America. And so since that's what he's in charge of, he essentially has the power and the potential power to start integrating Maya as if it was a quote-unquote fiat currency of sorts. Now, of course, Maya is a cryptocurrency, not a fiat currency, but it kind of has, but what he has essentially is the potential to start adding Maya as if it were as common as a fiat currency. So when Mexico has like the peso and things like that, it essentially is going to give Maya the opportunity or the potential to have the opportunity to be as popular or at least as common as the peso. Now, is that going to happen, right now, right today? The answer is no, but it's going to be one of those things where there's no reason why it couldn't happen very shortly in the future, because if Mr. Lombari is in charge of a lot of these ATMs and everything, if Maya starts getting listed over ATMs all over, Latin and Mid-America, then there's no reason as to why it won't expand from there. Because if an entire country starts, seeing it, on every street corner, on every ATM, and asks you if you want Maya token or the peso, I mean, it's going to be one of those things where it's just a matter of time before it grows from that point out, and expanding to other countries, other regions, etc. And I think that that's one of the biggest things to me, and not even just that in itself. I think another thing is that the fact that they got someone this big on their board, which is something that they said that they were going to do for a while now. They've been telling us they're going to be getting bigger and better people on their team. They're going to get, expand to like a larger sort of region. They're going to be doing a forward split. Pretty much everything that they've said that they're going to do has been coming forward over here. And I think that that's one of the things that, again, has stood out to me. I've said that time and time before. But the fact is that what they've been saying has been coming true. One more thing I do want to move on to in Maya before I move on to anything else is the fact that Maya's token sale is still currently going on Cadex. You guys can get that. I believe it's actually available everywhere now, but I think Cadex is the easiest to get stuff from. And Maya's in here. Welcome. So yes, with that rounding off, obviously extremely big news. I've talked about global payment solutions on this channel before, well before this video. Never thought I would be talking about them in this manner, but obviously a big news for my preferred moving forward. So let's go ahead and, I believe I just messed up. Let's go ahead and talk about DFS, and we're also going to be talking about Maya token as well. Now, when we're covering DFS, if you guys don't know, DFS is going to be getting listed on Cadex. Now, this is something that we had previously speculated, and the reason why we had been speculating this is because of the merger acquisition deal of Mapper actually acquiring 51% of the DFS tokens and 51% of DFS, therefore kind of as a company. So with DFS actually getting listed to Cadex, the reason that we speculated that is because any coin that Mapper is going to be getting, or any exchange that Mapper is going to be getting listed to, we can imagine that DFS and its counterparts and, the people that, or not the people, the coins that UK Financial owns are going to be following kind of the same set of guidelines. So whatever exchange one of their coins gets added to, we can expect that the other coins are going to come as well. Now, Cadex is actually a top 50 market cap exchange. Very, very big. A lot of you guys have probably heard about them. I've talked about them before on the channel. And one of the highlights is that they're super easy to set up. So with DFS actually getting listed on, this is going to be actually their biggest exchange to date. So this is going to be a really big move for DFS. This actually just happened today. I believe that it's live. If it's not live already, it should be literally any moment now. And this is actually something I'm very, very excited for, because if you guys know me, one of the largest problems that I had with DFS is that at the time it was only listed on one exchange, and therefore that one exchange created all the value of DFS. Now, that argument is no longer possible, because if you have DFS listed on multiple exchanges, if that one exchange goes away, it doesn't entirely negate the entire price of DFS anymore. Because the thing that used to be possible is if that one exchange that used to hold DFS were to disappear or delist DFS, its value would be zero because it's not listed anywhere. But now you see it getting listed on CADX, CoinDeal, and a couple of other exchanges to come, which essentially kind of secured the price and the solidity of DFS as a token, and also the price of DFS. So I think that obviously this is going to be a very, very big thing for DFS. This is going to be their largest exchange that they have been added to date. So great things coming from DFS, and I guess, and essentially great things coming from the Mapper team because of this as an acquisition to their coin portfolio. One of the other things that I want to talk about now that we're talking about mergers and acquisitions, before we get into too much of anything else, is the use of Maya token. Now, I'm not talking about Mapper, I'm actually talking about Maya token, and they are two different things. I have this to kind of throw up in the background while I talk about this because I don't have anything specific on Maya token, but essentially, Maya token is a merger and acquisition token by by UK Financial. Now, UK Financial, obviously, they're the ones who have acquired DFS. They're the owners of Maya Preferred Token, and they are also the owners of Maya Token. Now, Maya is MAYA for their abbreviation, and Maya Preferred is MAPR for their abbreviation. The way that Maya Token works is that it has, I believe, half the book value of a Maya Preferred token, and it's used for mergers and acquisition deals, which means that whatever they use those tokens to for a merger and acquisition deal, coin holders who own Maya tokens at that time will also get a portion of whatever they merge and acquire. So if they go and they acquire another cryptocurrency, correct me if I'm wrong on this because I think Maya's in here, but I believe that if they own that Maya token, they will get a portion of whatever token they're acquiring next. So correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's a pretty cool deal. It's a lot like, I think the easiest way to describe it is it's very much like a fork. So if something forks, you get part of the new fork as well as the original token that you are holding, and that's kind of the way that this guy is working, and it's very unique, something that I really don't see in crypto a lot, if at all. And so the last thing I want to talk about here to do with Maya and UK Financial and all those guys, everything that UK Financial owns is the MyX. Now, this specifically is an exchange coming from UK Financial that's going to have Mapper listed, it's going to have Maya listed, it's going to have DFS listed, it's going to, whatever that they are dealing with, it might even have Bitcoin and some other stuff listed. Whatever they are dealing with is going to be listed on this MyX exchange. Now, that is still to come. There is, going to be more info coming out about that as the future moves on, but that's also another thing that I'm able to announce today because I was talking to James before the stream, and he was giving me some news articles that I was able to highlight over here, which I'm actually very, very excited to talk about because I wouldn't be talking about it if I'm not, if I don't believe in it. I've been posting, I actually have to go and post another picture, but I've been acquiring more and more of both DFS and of Mapper, and now I guess I'll be also working my way into acquiring Maya as well now because I believe in all, in pretty much everything that UK Financial puts out. I believe in it. I've been buying it, and I've actually been posting the links to where I've been buying it to prove that I've been buying it because some people didn't think that I was buying it, and so I just figured I'd post all my receipts. But yeah, with that being said, lots of stuff coming out from here. I need to go ahead and read chat because I missed a lot of chat. So welcome everybody who's in here. Snoozin, UKMT, Tina, RS Chris, welcome everybody. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm not missing any questions, and then we can kind of go ahead and move on from here. MJ Jacobs, welcome. Dika, welcome. Nicholas and Mark. So Jefferson asked, what's so special about Maya tokens? So the reason that I've been talking about these guys a lot is because I think it's one of the greatest swing trades potentials that's in the market right now. And I don't say that lightly. Obviously we've been looking at Bitcoin, right? And that has been a great swing trade that we've been working on. Let me go and explain that. So from over here on Bitcoin, this has been a great swing trade. We saw this guy all the way down here from the bottom of this parallel channel, bounced right off of 8.9K around that 9K area, and then went all the way back up to our target, which we had drawn out previously of around 12.1, 12.2K. Hit our target perfectly. That was a great swing trade, but it was only about what was the move on this? I mean, let's do a quick risk first reward. I want to kind of show this so I can show you guys like what I mean by just how much potential there is here. So if you would have caught this guy perfectly from the ups to the from the bottom to the top side, you would have gotten around 33%. Now this guy on the other hand, that's 33%. Maya token and Mapper token more so. The reason why I think that this is such a great swing trade is because, I'm sure it talks about it in this article somewhere, but essentially they were having a 100x forward split where the price was reduced 100 times and then everyone who owned it received 100 times of what they already owned, and the circulating supply was staying the same. Now, if the circulating supply stays the same in a forward split and the price is reduced 100 times, you essentially have, and since the price is frozen during the forward split, obviously, you essentially create a lot of potential buying pressure, and therefore one coin is much more accessible. So say if 100 coins were to move the coin 50%, 100 coins is now worth 100 times less for 2 months, and thus the price that it can move is significantly increased because of the supply staying the same but the demand only growing. And so since the price has rolled all the way back to $250, and this is another point I wanted to talk about, the current price of this on exchanges is $250. It was $25,000 before the forward split. In my opinion, and I've talked to James about this, like, I don't think this coin is going to be at $250 for much longer. I do not think that it will last until the end date. I believe it was September 30th. I don't think it's going to last till September 30th at $250. I think that you're going to see this guy take off before, so there it is. So yeah, I think you're going to see this guy go far from $250 before the September 30th even rolls around, maybe even by the end of this month. So we'll see. I see this guy kind of taking off here. That's just my thoughts. And if this guy goes back from $250 to $25,000, you 100x your money. Now, I'm not giving financial or legal advice in any way. I'm saying I currently own this. That's what I believe that it very well could do, and that's the way that I'm treating it. So that's my 2 cents about this guy, and I believe it could very well go back from $250 to $25,000. I don't really see too much of a reason as to why it can't. But that's my 2 cents on it. So that's why that's what's so special about Maya tokens. My preferred and Maya token are related. Yes, they are. Well, there are a lot of you guys who really like Maya tonight. A lot of you guys have been asking, so I'm glad I was able to talk about this. Fat BTC and CADX, yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's another thing I forgot to say is that the Maya token is actually listed on the Saturn exchange for like 55 cents, I think, right now. And it'll probably be getting added to CADX. So I'll probably go ahead and get some. I've never used Saturn, but I'll probably go ahead and create an account and buy some Maya tokens, because if it's going to get added to CADX, I mean, it's just going to go up. Again, when coins get added to top 50 exchanges, it's not going to be a bad thing. Wonderful project, so strong. Hopefully it goes to the moon. I agree. All right, guys, let me just get caught up on these comments and we can move forward from here. RS Chris says, any hints on the DFS swap ratio possibility of what it could be? So my thoughts on DFS right now, are pretty much the same. So let me go ahead and go back to this article so I can kind of explain this a little bit better and then make this into full screen. So the way that DFS is right now is that it is 1/10 of a cent, which is an absolute steal. So I cannot wait till I can get my hands on this after the stream on CADX, because I will definitely be acquiring more after the stream. I just acquired some Mapper the other day, and so now it's DFS and Maya token's turn. But basically, the way that this is going to work is that ideally, nothing's guaranteed, but I wouldn't be investing with it again. I wouldn't be investing in it if I didn't think it was going to do something big. Ideally, the coin will go to $2.50 in their book value. Now, if the book value is $2.50, I definitely think that the market value can at least reach something close to this. Now, if the price of the token is a tenth of a cent, and it even goes to $1, I think that's like 1,000x. I could be wrong on my math there, but I believe that's 1,000x. So if it's a tenth of a cent and it goes to $1, let alone $2.50, you're looking at like 1,000 or 2,000x on whatever you invested, and that's incredible for me. So why would I not want to at least take the risk into investing in something like this right now? Because if I didn't, I would kick myself for the rest of my life, right? If it doesn't work out, all right, whatever. But if I didn't invest and this happens, I would kick myself for the rest of my life. I mean, who wouldn't, right? I mean, talk about huge swing trade potentials. So as a trader, yes, I'm looking at technical analysis, but I'm also looking at news articles and stuff like this, because if the first forward split and other stuff like that are happening in crypto, I want to be a part of it, because you can take advantage of it, and not only are you going to be able to be part of something big, but you're also going to be able to profit off of it. So that's the way that I'm looking at the scenario right now. What is the date? So the swap ratio, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure more info will come out on that as we keep moving forward, or as they keep moving forward rather. Maya coin will go all over Latin America. I mean, it definitely has the potential to, right? I mean, if you have the guy that's in charge of like all the ATMs and disbursement in Latin America, he's joining the board of directors. I mean, one would think that he's going to start integrating this in some way, or at least start pushing it, because why would he join the board of something that he didn't think was going to get pushed, right? That's just the way I look at it. What is the date you decided for the DFS Act? I'm not entirely sure. That's going to be a question for one of the DFS guys. Maybe I can get one of them on here one time. Coin holders will be taken care of. Love your work. Thank you so much, man. Mapper, every $1 movement is really a $100 movement. Exactly. And so that's kind of what I was talking about. I guess my preferred's in here. That's what I was talking about, is essentially it's a 100x movement, because after this forward split's done, I mean, I personally believe it's going to be back up in the 20,000s. So essentially, like, every $1 is going to be like $100. So that's a good way to think about it. But I think I pretty much covered everything in the news. The thing that I guess I didn't cover enough of is Maya is going to be on Saturn, and it should be getting I mean, if DFS got listed to CADX and other stuff, and Maya's on CADX, or excuse me, not Maya. Let me rephrase that. If Mapper's on CADX and DFS just got listed to CADX, I think that we could be looking at other things such as Maya token be getting listed to CADX and other exchanges as well. So I'm going to actually go on to, I'm going to look up Saturn right now while we actually have a moment. Saturn exchange. And I'm going to go ahead and look at this guy and see if, yeah, so here's Maya coin. So it's currently trading at, the US dollar is around 41 cents. So if you want to buy, it's around 41 cents right here. And if this does get listed, I would imagine it goes, I mean, there's no reason. I mean, I feel like the market cap of it, I mean, okay, so that's actually a pretty large market cap. So I was going to say the market cap was low enough so that this guy could like easily like quadruple in value, no problem. I think it can still do that, no problem. Especially if it has half the book value of a mapper. Holy. Thing's been growing. So yeah. I'm going to go try to get my hands on some of this after the stream. I'll post my payment receipts in the Discord if you guys are interested in that. There is a free link. I mean, it doesn't cost anything, no strings attached. There's a link in the comment section, in the description down below, to join the Discord. You might have to sign up and make an account, but everything's free. You join the Discord. It's where like my community resides, and we talk about a lot of stuff crypto related. Crypto analyst, the name is Maya coin, not Maya token. All right, my bad. I'm constantly calling things tokens and coins. So we have Maya coin, not Maya token. But the abbreviation for that is MAYA is what I'm referring to. So Maya is Maya, and then Mapper is Maya preferred. There's a difference in those two, and yeah, Maya coin, not Maya token. My bad. I tend to get those mixed up. I call a lot of things tokens and coins, even though they're not. I mean, the abbreviation Maya is the Maya coin, and the abbreviation mapper is Maya preferred token. So with that being said, we have pretty much rounded up all of the news that we needed to talk about over here. If you guys want to know more info on this stuff, Mr. Lombardi is the actual government of Mexico. I mean, yeah, he's a huge figure. So for you guys to be able to get him on your team is giant. And I'm sure that there's more big names to come. So I don't think that this is going to be the end of it by any means, and I look forward to anything else that you guys put out, because I will definitely be watching you guys closely. And I'm not quite sure what happened to my picture. This is the guy I wanted to look at. But yeah, if you guys want to know anything more about this, literally just feel free to ask questions. Maya coin, okay, so Maya coin will be listed next week. That's big news. So if Maya coin's going to be listed on CADEX next week, ideally, is what I think Maya is what Maya's saying in chat. So if Maya coin's going to be listed on CADEX next week, I'm definitely buying some tonight. So then you'll have Mapper, Maya, and DFS all listed on CADEX by the end of this month, which will be very, very good. So that would obviously be a good thing. And again, getting added to a top 50 exchange, there's really no argument that that's a bad thing in any way. If anything, that's only a good thing. So absolutely great stuff coming out from all these guys. I am pretty much caught up on all of the Maya preferred and UK financial news. When Maya is listed, the price, or what price are we talking? Well, ideally, so if it has half the book value, let's go ahead and talk about that for a second, because that's one of the things is we can speculate. So it has half the book value of a mapper token. So if the mapper price as of right now during the forward split is $250, I mean, ideally, like at least $125, because it's half. If it's supposed to be half the value of a mapper token, shouldn't it be at least half the price in market value? So as of right now, that's $125. But if mapper goes back up to $25,000, then you could have the Maya coin going all the way up to $2,000 or to $12,500. So will it do that? I mean, we're gonna have to look. But it's one of those things where I don't think enough people know about it. And it's kind of like he's saying, it's kind of just undervalued right now, as a lot of this stuff is, especially for their team that they have and what's all happening. I think the reason that it's so undervalued is because it's so new. And this is crypto where things take a long time to kind of catch on and get rolling. And you could have like the best thing in the world. Like there are blockchains that are better than Bitcoin, but they take months to catch on. I mean, look at EOS. That's another great one, for example. It's a blockchain that's significantly stronger than Bitcoin's, but it has taken a long time to get EOS to where it is as one of the top cryptocurrencies. I think the same way is kind of just going with Mapper. I think the whole reason why it's so undervalued right now isn't because it's bad. I think it's because it's new, and obviously we've seen the growth. So I think that's a great way to explain it. And it's just going to be one of those things that it's a snowball effect, and the thing's just going to keep rolling bigger and bigger, in my opinion. So I want to get on the train early before it's too late. So in speculation, I would imagine at least half the price of a mapper token. That's what I imagine the Maya coin being, because there's no reason why it can't be. What about DFS 90 days agreement? Will be kindly reply, thanks. What about DFS 90-day agreement, $2.50 when? So I don't know exactly when. I would imagine, this is what I was actually talking to someone about today. Excuse me. So what I was thinking is that since UK Financial acquired products once it hits CADEX. Perfect. So since UK Financial has acquired DFS in their merger acquisition of 51%, UK Financial now is kind of like the owner of DFS, so to say. And so, I mean, obviously they still have their old They still have their own dev team, but since Maya has acquired them, they are currently the guys kind of running the thing. And so Maya is going to be one of the guys to make sure that this gets from, or not Maya, UK Financial is going to be the people that make sure it gets from where it's at right now to that book value of $2.50. So I don't see that happening until Mapper and Maya stuff is figured out and sorted. Now, Mapper's forward split ends September 30th, so maybe it's sometime before then, but it could very well be sometime after September 30th because there's just so much happening in the Maya preferred token right now. There's so much going on right there, and since that is the primary token of UK Financial, that one's going to get all of the treatment before DFS or Maya Coin or really anything else. So once Maya preferred is all, and again, this is kind of my theory, once UK Financial is less busy from doing so much work on Maya preferred token, then they're going to start kind of, again, ramping up DFS and Maya token right behind Mapper. But again, I think it's only a matter of time. I think probably by like October or year end, you're going to have all these guys up significantly from where they are right now. DFS, Maya, and Mapper. All three of them. So hopefully that answers your question. Ideally, yeah, I think that it could very well go to $2.50 on for DFS. Sometime in the next 90 days, I think it's 100% possible. 34,000. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions about that, I'd love to be able to answer your guys' question in chat. Now that I have covered all of the, or what I believe to be all of the Maya Preferred and UK Financial news related to MAIAX and DFS and Maya Coin and Maya Preferred Token and all that, I'm going to go ahead and move into some Bitcoin technical analysis, and I can continue answering your guys' questions and taking requests and anything like that as we move forward from here. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about Bitcoin and how that's relating to this market right now is that Bitcoin bounced perfectly off of the support that I called. Now, what is this? This is essentially the opportunity for a giant bull flag on Bitcoin, or in the least, a falling channel. Now, what this means is that since Bitcoin saw rejection, and then, of course, support, and support, you have three supports and 3 resistance points. What this means for Bitcoin is that as soon as it bounced off of this support down here, immediately what I was looking for is a target right around the resistance area. Now that we saw that target, it worked out perfectly and rejected for the 3rd time, which was very, very expected. So a lot of people have been saying, well, what do you think about Bitcoin now? Where do you think it's going? What do you think is going to happen to the market? And I think the answer for that is, of course, it ricocheted this guy, and I think the only logical area that it can go from here is back to support. Now, it just so happens to be that on the daily chart, the 200 EMA is right by support around $8,000. So this could definitely be the next mark on Bitcoin. I think that it would make a lot of sense for it to come back down here. It's going to have consolidation support, and it's also going to have, of course, some previous highs and stuff over here. But in addition to that, you're going to have psychological support and from the EMAs and from support lines as well. So let me just make sure I'm reading chat. Sorry, you guys have been killing it on chat tonight. A few ones are gone on one of your live streams. If you looked at ZIL-BTC and you liked it, can we look at it again? And kind of get an idea of why it didn't go up. Deal will be closed by the end of the month with DFS. Okay, so that's big news. So the DFS deal will be closed by the end of the month. And Jimbo, yeah, we can go take a look at that right now. I kind of wanted to explain why this bounced so well, because so many people are like, this bounce came out of nowhere. How could you know that this happened? And the answer is quite simple, is that, it bounced off of this 3-point support on a daily timescale. And again, it was just simple support resistance. I mean, if we had our resistance line and our support line, which were both established already, ideally if it bounced off support, twice, double bottom in fact, the moment that it broke this descending triangle theory that people had, immediately as soon as it did that, it was one of those things where you should have known that it was going to resistance. So that's what I wanted to explain on DFS, because it was very possible that it formed like a descending triangle like this. But as soon as this guy broke out, it was one of those times where it was going right back to resistance, because if it bounced from support twice, it's probably going back up to resistance here, at least in this scenario. DFS will be done before August 30th. Question, since Mapper is backing Bitcoin, will it ever reflect in Bitcoin's actual price? I think the answer is, yeah, it could. It definitely could. So this is where the answer gets complicated, because Mapper is doing stuff and UK Financial is doing stuff that we've never seen in the market before. So with them backing it in book value with gold and silver, we've never seen any crypto do that. We've never had a crypto that gets backed in a book value, so we don't know exactly. I would imagine that it would, right? Because it can only be a good thing for Bitcoin to be backed entirely in gold and silver. So if it's going to be backed entirely in gold and silver, I would imagine it would affect the price of Bitcoin going up. But I think it's one of those things that Mapper and UK Financial have to grow and get bigger. And the more that Mapper and UK Financial grow, the more we'll see that impact the price of Bitcoin. Because if you were going to, let's just say if you're going to like, what's that big thing called? It's the big one every May for all cryptocurrency holders. That really large event. But if you were to go in there and say, who knows what my preferred is? The answer would probably be not a lot of the people in the room. Now, that's not a bad thing. Again, the reason for that being is that they're new. But what happens if all of those people that go to all these Bitcoin conferences knew that it was backed entirely in gold and silver? And what happens if random people who said that Bitcoin no longer has, what would happen if you had people on the street who said Bitcoin does not have intrinsic value? What happens if they knew now that Maya Preferred backed it entirely in gold and silver? I think the psychological effect that would have, the more people that know, it's going to reflect on Bitcoin a lot more as well. So I think the biggest thing here is it's going to be a psychological thing, and it's much like the snowball effect of what I was talking about earlier, because the more people that know about it, the more people that know about Maya Preferred and what they're doing, and therefore backing Bitcoin and gold and silver entirely, the more that's going to reflect on the price. So I think the reason why, if anyone's saying, I haven't seen, why hasn't Bitcoin gone to $34,000 yet? I think that the reason for that is not everyone knows. I mean, they should know, but it's one of those things where it's not my fault. I mean, they're just new, and news has to roll around. I mean, you could be the best athlete in the world, but you got to start somewhere. You got to get noticed somewhere, and that's kind of like the same path that's actually happening to Maya right now. They are in the process of getting noticed and growing and growing and growing on that food chain, which is why they're been getting added to bigger and better and more exchanges, and them and their assets moving forward. Consensus, that's what it was. So that I think that's the best way to explain that, and the way that it relates to Bitcoin. I think it's gonna be one of those things. Everyone wants everything to be, and I'm not saying that this is anyone in the chat, but a common frustration in cryptocurrency is that everything has to happen immediately, and that's just not the way that it works. Everything is on a time scale, and with that time scale, things don't happen the day that they say that they're going to happen. So, I mean, nothing does. If you have a business and you're saying it's going to be $1 million business, it's not going to happen the day that you said that. It's going to be one of those things where you're going to get attention, and then you're going to build on your team, and then you're going to put out news, and then you're going to work on the product, and this is going to happen over months or even years. So, sometime before Maya 2020, sometime before May 2020, BTC will reach an all-time high. Hopefully in 2019 rather than 2020. I think that is very possible. I think it's very, very possible. So hopefully moving into the early 2020s, Bitcoin continues to grow up as everything else will. I think the biggest thing right now is that the altcoins aren't moving nearly as much as Bitcoin, which is something that we've never seen before, because the altcoins have smaller of a market cap. So in theory, they should be moving more than Bitcoin percentage-wise, and they're not. And that's a little bit of a weird thing for me. So I think once the altcoins start getting rolling again, I think it'll help Bitcoin out in addition to that. So what are your thoughts on BTC trends right now? Bullish or bearish? Bearish or bullish? I think the short-term trend is bearish, obviously, because this is a falling channel right here. And I think that you can see that. I mean, you see the support and the resistance clearly on this chart. So I think in the short term, this is bearish, but I think in the long term, this guy is very, very bullish, because this could arguably be, and let's go ahead and switch this to the 3-day so I can explain that. this could arguably be a giant bull flag forming. Now, what is a bull flag, and how do we know, and how can one argue that this is a bull flag? And I think the answer for that is this entire run up over here is going to be the bull pull. And then this falling channel is going to be the bull flag. And let me go ahead and kind of explain that. So if we type over here and we look up bull flag literally just on Google, what are we going to get? So over here we can see this is a scenario of a bull flag. So what this is you have the bull pull right here, the flag pull, which is this ramping up part, and then the flag is this falling channel. Let's go ahead and take a look at another example. Over here, bull flag. Why? Because you have the bull pull, falling channel downwards, bull flag scenario. Ideally, it breaks out eventually. Here's another one. Bull flag in an uptrend. Over here, you have your uptrend bull pull, falling channel, bull flag, breakout afterwards. So it's one of those things where it's like time and time again, why should this be any different? So yes, this is a downtrend, but so were all those bull flag scenarios I just told you. I mean, if you literally Google bull flag and click images, you're going to see things that are very, very similar to this, right? Uptrend, falling channel, and then breakout eventually. Now, is that guaranteed? The answer is no. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but like in theory, according to technical analysis, that's what should happen, right? I mean, it looks perfect. To me, it looks like a great bull flag. So that's my thoughts on it. So long-term bullish, short-term bearish. In a few weeks, this downtrend will be history. Yeah, I think you could be very, very correct, Bob, in what you're saying right there. I mean, maybe we come back down to support and then just bounce straight out of here, and then we hit like 15K after that. It's very possible. How effective is a bull flag, like percentage-wise? I think it's very. So there's different forms of bull flags. That's another one. There's pennants and there's falling channels and et cetera, et cetera. The falling channel is the most reliable one in my opinion. I think bull flags are very reliable. It's something that I use a lot, to be honest. Now, it's not guaranteed, nothing is, but I think that it's one of the more reliable trading patterns, hence why it's one of the most popular. So, like, in a scenario like this, I mean, I would say it's 90% probability that this breaks out towards the upside, 10% that it breaks down towards the downside. Now, people are going to disagree with that, but I think that it's just one of those things that even if it ricochets in here, even if it comes up and then down and up and then down, eventually this guy is going to break out, in my opinion. Again, not financial or legal advice in any way, but in my opinion, this guy's eventually going to break out towards the upside, and you could very well see a new yearly high or at least a new 12-month high on Bitcoin. So that's my thoughts with that. How do you buy DFS? Does it trade? It doesn't trade. You just buy it. So there's like exchanges. You can go to like DFS's thing. I believe. Let's check CADX real fast. I want to see if they're actually up on CADX yet. I got to do an authentication. Let me do this authentication, and then we'll be get the show on the road. All right. Actually, it is. Perfect. So DFS has already been listed on, I'm guessing it's still, maybe it's still in the process of getting listed because it says it's down 96%. So I would imagine it's still in the process of getting listed. But so it's in the process of getting listed to CADX. It's also listed on CoinDeal and a couple of other ones. I'm not exactly sure. I know it's listed on CoinDeal. You can buy it from Maya's website, and it's now going to be listed on CADX, as well as I think another exchange. So there are places that it is trading, and that's how I got mine. James said Maya is not focused on selling coins. Oops, chat is moving too fast for me. Maya is not focused on selling coins. The forward split is meant to get users to onboard to make them. My coin is a genius. Yeah, so I completely agree with you. The thing about Maya is that, like, the goal should be to be, obviously, so the goal is partially to make money, but also the point is to use it for its use case, correct? So I think I misread your question. I'm going to be honest. My coin is a genius concept on board, upper since it's cheap, valued at 17K. So yeah, I mean, huge potential. I think I've already talked about it though. I've been looking at Bitcoin at a range in between 9,400 and 12,400. Yeah, exactly. It's been in a downwards range, which I have drawn up over here. It's been in a downwards range over here, just perfectly, just ranging back and forth, bouncing between the parallel channel. Bobby Crypto, it's, if you go on the coin market cap, I think it's in the top, it's one of the top 50 exchanges in the world right now. So they're not a small exchange, and they're really easy to use. Because I created my account about a month ago, and it was the easiest thing I've ever done, getting from, there they are. Did you take another YouTuber's name at Crypto Bobby? I know Crypto Bobby. I can see it on CatX. Penten, hey, what's up? I just recognized who you were. DFS has already been trading on CatX today, open EOS customers as well, which is perfect. And with CoinDeal working on that as well, again, it's just a matter of time before it grows. It was more of a statement. All right. What is the most important time frames to look at during short-term trading? So I think it really depends upon what you're trading. So with Bitcoin being so reliable on TA here, the things that I've been enjoying it the most for swing trading is the daily and the 4-hour, just because of how clean it's been. Again, this has been probably some of the easiest trading I've done in Bitcoin in a very, very long time. You saw over here on a daily, 1 rejection, 2 rejection, 3 rejection from resistance, 1, 2, and 3 from support, along with a double bottom over here. A very, very clean double bottom, might I add. I'm actually going to go ahead and highlight this in the color white. So with a double bottom and triple bounce off of a support line and triple rejection from this resistance line, for me, it's just been one of the easiest trading. And if you want to just make your life easy, the thing that you should have been doing this from is either from the 4-hour or on the 1-day chart. Because as soon as this guy bounced over here and double bottomed, immediately my eyes were towards the top of this range or the top of this resistance line of the parallel channel. Now you could kind of draw this up as a parallel channel and use the heartline tool, but even if you just want to make it easy, more easy and even more basic, you can literally just draw up these two lines and just say, okay, well, it bounced from here and double bottomed. If it contradicts a potential descending triangle, if it contradicts this, then immediately my eyes are set at the top of resistance, which is exactly what it did. Saw the top of resistance and rejected. So ideally, it's going to come back down to one of two areas. The first one being this support line where it actually double bottomed that over here, because you have consolidation support, but also it's going to be at the bottom of support of this falling channel, which is actually going to be the 200 EMA as well on the daily time scale. So to answer your question, I think if you're swing trading, the 4-hour and the daily time scale are personally my favorites. I mean, you can just see things very, very cleanly, and I think on Bitcoin, the 4-hour time scale just works out so well. If you're using more so of a I don't know, probably like leverage trading, that's very, very much more preference than anything else. I think that that's one of those things where you have to find out what works best with your trading style and then kind of work forward from there. So if you like doing more of swing trading, ideally you do a lower leverage and you leave trades in for longer. But if you do more of day trading and intraday trading, then you're doing higher leverage more frequently, probably on a smaller time scale as well. So a lot of people like the 5-minute, the 3-minute, the 1 hour, the 30-minute, and the 15-minute. And that's usually what's used more so for leverage trading. So the 1 hour time scale and lower, I would recommend, or I can't really recommend it, but what I do personally for day trading and intraday trading is having a 5-minute, a 15, a 30-minute, and a 1 hour chart, all up with whatever EMAs or moving averages or whatever you're using on all those guys, so that you can get both a macro and a micro view of what you're trading. So that's the way that I would answer that, is it really depends on like what you're doing. Yeah, I put in a fun bid at 0.02 sats for 100K. So hopefully that answered your question. Question number 2. I have 3.2K Maya coin. Would you purchase 1,000 Maya or 2 Mapper? Oh man, that's hard. I would probably say Mapper, because Mapper is the main token of UK Financial, and Maya coin is the merger and acquisition token. So I would rather go with the main token, like the founder. It's like saying, would you rather have Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash? I'd rather have Bitcoin. Why? Because it's the main Bitcoin. It's the main crypto. So it's not like Maya coin's horrible, therefore I don't want to own it. It's just I would rather have Mapper because it's the main project of UK Financial rather than have Maya coin. No, it's Crypto Bobby is the other one. The other Crypto Bobby. So we have Bobby Crypto and Crypto Bobby. Jalen, thank you so much for the $3. It really means a lot. I appreciate it. You're gonna disapprove of this, but thanks. What am I gonna disapprove of? Oh, I think of what you were going to say. Jalen, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the support. Jalen said, I usually only do swings and day trading. Leverage and margin trading is too risky for me. So personally, when I am doing swing and, when I'm doing swing and day trading, I'm using the 4-hour time scale, the 1-day time scale, and occasionally I'll do the 3-day and the 1 week. I won't do that every single day, but every couple of days I will look at those guys to get more of a macro view of what's happening in the overall trend. Also, I will occasionally look at the 1 hour, but I have noticed that I do not trade quite as good on the 1 hour if I'm doing trading stuff. And so I look at the 1 hour less. A lot of people, though, the majority, I'm definitely in the minority here, but the majority of people use the 1 hour for trading all of the time. And it's probably one of the best and most important time scales. However, I've just found that for my personal trading style, I trade the best when I'm only really using the 4-hour and the 1-day time scale. So not saying the 1 hour is bad, because it's probably the best time scale. It's just personally for my style, I like the 4-hour and the 1 day more, because that's where I found the best results for myself. So it's really about fitting like what your style is, and then finding out what time scale best fits your style. I set a goal to become good at TA for crypto in 55 weeks. Is this likely, Ben? Of the super chat. I think it's very possible. If you're surrounded by the right people and you're constantly like putting in the time for it, you can be pretty sufficient in technical analysis within a year. So what is that? 55 weeks is just over a year. I think so. There's 52 weeks in a year. That would give you just over a year, and I think that's more than enough time. I think if you hardcore put yourself into it for a year, you could be looking at like 70% win rate. That's what I did. I think a year from when I started learning, I was at what was it? A year after I started trading, or it was a year and a month. So 13 months after I started learning TA, I had a 90% win rate in swing trades. So you can definitely do it. It's possible. I will warn you though, I put in like hours every day. So it's going to be a lot of work, but you can do it. Yes, I've often heard of how super useful. Yeah, it is. Does the stream know that you don't only trade crypto? I think they do, because I talk about it all the time in Discord. I actually have other chats in the Discord. Where's the Discord? Let's whip it out. So over here in the Discord, guys, if you guys want to join the Discord, it's completely free. There's a link for this in the description down below. No strings attached. You might have to make an account through Discord, but like that's the only thing. It's free. In here, I have things like stocks, forex, futures. I trade a lot of things other than just cryptocurrencies, and that's something that we've been talking about more and more on the YouTube channel because I've been wanting to talk about it more, but I'm not sure if there's a second channel coming for that or if I'll just start putting more content related to that stuff on this channel. But the stream and the people that are part of this community definitely know that I trade a lot of things that aren't cryptos, a lot of futures and stocks, and I want to get into more forex and stuff like that. I do like a lot of work in the precious metals market, as I really enjoy that. Ice David says about Ice David, what are you asking about Mapper? What's the best wallet for me to throw all my coins on before they get stuck on Binance? Well, that's a hard question to ask. So a lot of coins have different wallets. If it's an Ethereum-based token, you can use my Ether wallet. That's what I use. But a lot of coins have a lot of different wallets. So especially coins that are on their own blockchain require their own wallets. So it's one of those things where you're going to have to figure out what wallets are suitable and compatible with your cryptocurrencies and then move forward from there. Yeah, and so Jalen said it best. You're probably going to have to get numerous wallets in order to hold all of your cryptos if you're semi-diverse at all. I'm actually going to have to be transferring. The biggest thing that I'm going to have to transfer is going to be my Pundi, because I'm not selling my Pundi at 4 sats. That would be mad. So I'm going to have to transfer that to somewhere else and probably into some sort of wallet until Binance USA comes out. But yeah, that is, let me check my phone to make sure I'm not missing anything. I think we're good. I recently started a platform for people to know. Yeah, oh, that's awesome. So if you guys are interested in trading the futures market via the stock market more so, well, what would you say futures is? I mean, I think it's a lot of stocks and indexes and things like that, commodities in the futures market. If you guys are interested in trading futures and wanting to learn about that in any way, go give Penton a follow. I know him; he's a great friend. And he's an incredible trader in futures. So I do not think that you guys will be disappointed at all. So Penton, I'm guessing is this your YouTube channel, Penton? If not, throw a link to that in the comment section, and I'll approve it. Tess is the Pundi master. I know. No one does it better than him. Yeah, what is going on with BitMEX? I have moved all my funds off of BitMEX. I think I announced that in the Discord a couple of weeks ago or a month ago. So I moved all of my funds off of BitMEX entirely. I thought that they were going to have a big crackdown, and I didn't want to be a part of it. Penton, what's the channel? If it's not, is it at Instagram? But actually, you know what I want to do is I want to take a look at the MACD and the RSI. Oh, this is perfect. Twitter and Insta, Discord. If you send me a link over Discord, I'll put it on the YouTube. Is Arthur Hayes going to be locked up by the SEC? I don't know who. I'm going to be honest. I don't know who Arthur Hayes is. Oh yeah, send me a link to the website, Penton or Leo, and I'll plug it onto the stream here. So looking at this, this is one of the things I was talking about on the 4-hour time scale. This is just simply the, oh no, wait, what was this? The 3-day? Yeah. So this is one of the things that I was talking about in one of my previous videos on Bitcoin, is the way and the range and the area that this guy's bouncing around in. Essentially just bouncing from the RSI from range to range to range to range, back up to this range, back towards this range. I mean, again, obviously this was the horrible bear market that we just had, but then again, bouncing off of this range again, then right back up to this guy again. So ideally, it should come somewhere back down into this area, which it looks like it's doing right now. So on the 3-day chart, this is where I'm looking to as some sort of a bottom, somewhere around this area. Again, it's speculation. It's the RSI. It's not a candle chart, so don't take it like it's a candle chart. But, you know, in the macro trend of the 3-day RSI, Relative Strength Index, it does have a pretty good sideways trend of where it likes to bounce in between and to and from. So this is something that I'm actually considering when looking at the price action of Bitcoin moving forward. Oh, he's the big dude. Creator of BitMEX. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have any funds on BitMEX, so I did not want to be a part of anything that's happening over there. I have never used Prime XBT either, so the only leveraged exchange that I've ever used was BitMEX, and I don't have any funds on there anymore. So I'm currently not leverage trading, but I'm doing futures trading. Hey, well, maybe not. Leo, if you want to go ahead and throw a link to your website in here or to any of your stuff, by all means, go ahead. And if you can't, then just send it to me over Discord, and I'll put it in chat if you can't. You should be able to, though. Because I just modded you, so there you go. But that is going to go ahead and be pretty much a wrap for this stream. I'm going to be... I guess we can be rounding this up. I'll see if Leo can't get his stuff in here. But I am going to go ahead and start rounding this up, as I do need to get dinner. One of the last things I want to say, guys, before I go ahead and leave here, I want a wrench too. Yeah, Jalen, you can get a wrench. I've been around for forever. One of the things that I want to say before I kind of round off of this, guys, is that live streams and videos are starting back up normally. From here on out, I have moved pretty much entirely back into the apartment. I've been getting the setup done, and so videos will be starting regularly once again. Probably 1 to 2 live streams a week, hopefully around 5 videos a week. So in between, maybe hopefully about 7 content creations a week. It won't always be that. Sometimes it might be less. Sometimes it might be more. But moving forward from here, the uploads and the live streams are going to be starting normally again, as I am back in the private apartment. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't already, there's a link right now in chat. Go ahead and check that out. It's called thefutureslife.com. My good friend Leo over there is a phenomenal trader, and if you guys want to learn anything about trading in the futures market or at least see his progress or anything like that, I mean, he's one of the guys who helped teach me technical analysis. So by all means, go check him out. You won't regret it at all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream here, but I appreciate all you guys. Had some great topics from my preferred in UK Financial and DFS and everything in between there. Lots of big things coming from them, so be very, very excited. Right after this is over, actually, I'm going to go ahead and try to get my hands on some Maya and some DFS, as well as some Mapper. I actually just got my hands on some Mapper yesterday. So now, today, I'm going to go and look at some Maya coin and DFS token. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the Bitcoin technical analysis as well. I'm going to go ahead and get myself some food, and I will see you guys next time. Jalen, thank you so much for today's donation. It is very much appreciated, and I guess I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.